You're listening to the Spunky Spirit Podcast, where intuition meets real life. Hey guys, welcome to this bonus episode of Spunky Spirit. I just wanted to get on today and I've had a lot of people, this is just a little tiny bonus episode. It's not going to be very long, but I've had a lot of people during readings recently kind of be freaked out about everything that's going on. So around the world with, political stuff, spiritual stuff. You can feel the collective is scary. And, I'm going to say certain files that are being released at this certain time. So I'm just going to kind of give you my 2 cents, maybe a little bit of my story about it. I had my first, awakening. Like awakenings are really kind of hard. And when you kind of start to see truth and you feel lied to, it awakens up a thing in you. And I've had many different awakenings. Like when I, left, I'm just going to be honest, you guys. I used to sugarcoat things but I'm going to tell you I'm going to be completely transparent. This is how it went down. And if you don't like it, you can unfollow me, but I'm going to be honest. And my first full awakening was when I kind of stepped into my power. I started having my gifts come through, and it was kind of scary. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what it meant, so I would drink a lot. And then I joined the LDS church, and then I had a huge spiritual awakening during my divorce, and lots of things started coming through. Ancestors started coming through, and then I had another spiritual awakening when I actually left the church. Faith crisis, and then during COVID, had another big, huge spiritual awakening. And then about 6 years ago, when these files dropped, I had another huge awakening. So I've had all these kind of awakenings. And the thing is a lot of my clients already have 2. They already know everything that's going on. They've seen these files. They know that not everything is as it seems. They know some of the truth, but there's some of my clients that are going through it now because this is the second wave. And of course, you've heard me say it before on Cari Connects. This is the 9th year, and this is the year of the snake. And so this is letting go. This is letting go of things that do not work for us. And it's not just going to be a personal thing. It's a collective thing. And so truth will be shown, and things will be shown to us, and we will see the truth, and it will cause a frequency raise. Now, these have been happening throughout time. This is a spiritual battle. It's been going on for a really long time. This isn't something new. And I know that some of you are all mad. I was too. Like the first time I saw some of the things that happened in our country, with these files, I was devastated and like emotionally distraught and didn't want to move for quite a few days. And so I know what it's like, but you don't want to be pulled down into that. You don't want to be pulled into the despair, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to think that you're helpless. They want you to think that you can't do anything. They want you to forget how powerful you are. And they have rigged it, so there's nothing we can do about it. They have rigged it, so even if we do get mad, even if we do want to stand up, we can't really do anything. So we feel helpless, but that's not true. We can step into our power. We can remember who we are, and we can control what we can control. We cannot let it pull us down, and we can stop doing the things they want us to. We can stop going to supporting the things that they want us to support. We can stop, supporting, and I'm just going to say it, Hollywood and the government. We can stop doing those things. And so that's where your power lies. You control your family. And I just want you to know too, I might get some flack for this, but if you choose a side, that's what they want you to do. So if you're at this point choosing a side, you are causing some of the divide. You are. That's what they want. They want division. And so anytime you choose a side, you cause the divide. You're part of the divide. And so when you are sovereign and you think for yourself and you realize that both wings, both sides come from the same bird, and the bird is being controlled by somebody. It's a show for us, you guys. It's a shit show, but it's a show. It's all a big show, a put on. There's no, it's like, and they can flip the scripts, which is they want one person to look like a hero and then they want him to fall. And then they can do, it's just the dynamics of it. And they've been doing it forever. In the past, what do you think killing all of, getting rid of all of the witches was? That they didn't want them to rise up in power. They thought that they were stepping into their power. They were stepping into who they were. They were being sovereign. They didn't like that. And all of these things, the bird controls with religion, politics, and theater. Who has the control? You have to look at in the past who had the control. Kings and queens, popes, religions, everything that had control was either religion or politics. And so you have to just know that for a long time, it's been this way. And people think that it's getting worse. But I want you to read the Bible. It's not getting worse. I mean, I just did a podcast on how Scotland a lot of their people lived underground and, you watch some of the, shows that women were being like attacked on the streets and kids were being taken and pandemics were taking over. So it's not getting worse. It's just that we see it constantly. We're seeing it on a day-to-day basis because we watch the social media. We watch TikTok, we watch Instagram, we watch Facebook, and it is constantly in our faces. So that's another thing I want you to do too. This is take your power back and don't continue to watch it. If it's pulling you in a direction that you cannot, and I did the first time, I remember crying because honestly, the first time when I kind of saw it, because sometimes you see things and you don't understand what they are, right? And so the first election that I saw, I think was Hillary and Trump's. And I thought, I saw all the bad stuff. I saw all the bad stuff coming out. And so I thought at the time that, oh, this man's going to save us. He's going to be the savior. And so during that time, when the second election came around, I was devastated because I thought that's what I saw. I thought I saw that there was going to be a bigger awakening when Trump was in office. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of put this thing because I didn't know what I was seeing. And because, you only see bits and pieces, you only see you only see bits and pieces to a puzzle. And so when he lost, I was devastated because I thought the world was going to end. And I thought that it was going to be, not that I thought he was, no, please don't unfollow me because things change. But I just thought that, and also too, I was sad because I thought that I thought that my gift was wrong because I had seen him win again. And so I thought there's something wrong with me. I'm not tuning in right. Something's wrong. But then when he got into the second term, then he didn't win. And then Biden was president and then Trump became president. I thought, okay, that's what I saw then. I saw him winning this term. And so then I thought, okay, people are going to awaken. People are going to see the truth. He's going to show the truth. But then we started seeing the truth. And it wasn't him that brought it to us because he also wanted to hide it, right? He wanted to be like, why don't you guys forget about that? Why don't we not think about that? And so that's when I realized that you don't put your faith in any one person. You be sovereign and you don't pick sides because sides is how we divide. And they flipped the script because it's just a big show. All they're doing is putting on this big show. That's all they're doing. And we're pawns in this. And so, so then it kind of, so my outlook changed, but not to a point where I picked sides, but to a point where what can I do to make this more bearable? 1, I can step into my power. 2, I can be sovereign and decide what's right for me and stop listening to, dietitians tell me what to eat. Stop listening to certain people telling me how I'm supposed to do things. Stop listening to different things on social media telling me how I'm supposed to believe and what I'm supposed to think, and really tap into what I believe and what is humane and, what is true to my heart. And remember too, you don't always see the whole story when you're seeing it on social media or these news outlets. You're not seeing the whole thing. You're seeing bits and pieces. You're seeing what they want you to see. And so that's a big, huge thing too, because I didn't, we depend so much on, in the past, we thought news was everything, doctors are everything, everybody knows everything. And I'm not saying they're not, but there's a time when you got to tap into your own stuff, guys, and you got to see things, see the truth. And so, but when you do see the truth, it can be devastating and you can feel hopeless. And I don't want you to feel that. So I'm giving you my personal story. Where do I stand now? I stand in the fact that we've been duped for a really long time, that there's two, there's two, there's one bird that controls both of the wings, and that you can't trust in one source or one person or one side. And everything they tell you to do, you maybe want to do the opposite. That's because now that I kind of am starting to tap into what I'm seeing, and I don't see the world ending. But if I did, how would I know what I'm seeing? Because if I saw like earthquakes and things like that, I could just be seeing an earthquake or a tsunami that's taking place that's why you never, you trust your intuition and you feel your intuition, but at the same time, you've got to like make sure you're interpreting it correctly, because you can interpret wrong and you can be wrong. And I interpreted it wrong in the beginning when I was going through all this stuff and seeing all this stuff. So really be careful but when you know in your gut that things aren't right, or you know in your gut that this isn't supposed to happen, or even if you feel anger, it's okay, because it's anger's not, we're taught that anger's bad. It's not. Anger's a processed emotion. Anger's telling you that something's not right. So listen to your emotions, tap into those. And so how to navigate through this, if you're going through a second awakening right now, or if you're going through an awakening and you didn't know anything and you're waking up now, just know you have more power than you think you do. And that's the one thing. I had a reading the other day, and the man said, if you were to tell people, I think I told you this, but if you were to tell people, what's one thing you would tell people if you could? It's to remember who you are and how powerful you are. That's what they want you to forget. That's what the bird wants you to forget. That's what the religion wants you to forget. All of the wings all of the feathers that come out of this bird, they want you to forget that you are so powerful. And that's when I get emotional. I get emotional because you do not remember that. You don't remember how powerful you are, how powerful we are. And when our light starts to shine and when we start to step into our power, it scares them. And that's when they become helpless, is when we remember who the F we are. So that's what I want you to remember. That's how I want you to navigate this. I want you to, if you're feeling too emotionally distraught or too emotionally involved, then get off social media, take a break, go outside, put your feet on the ground, do anything you can to just remember who you are. Only worry about what you can control and be positive and try and be happy. And even though that's not by spiritual bypassing, that's not, some people are like, how can you be so happy with everything that's going on? That's what they want you to think. They want you to not be happy. They want you to sulk and be sad and think that it's helpless. So you doing you and finding joy in the moments and you figuring out what you want, that's where it all lies. That's where you find the good. That's where you find the control. And if you are mad about something and you feel like you want to, you feel like you want to change things, then do it a little bit at a time. Do it a little bit at a time and feel like that you can, just make little things like don't watch a certain movie or don't watch the Super Bowl this year or don't do this. Just little things at a time you can do. And that's how you can step in your power, take your power back and not feel helpless and hopefully that helps you navigate through this awakening or through this crucial crap that we're seeing all over. Shut down social media, be who you are. Go take a trip, do something for you. And remember, more than anything, I want you to remember who you are. Just remember who you are. That's all. That will kick their butts. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.